In the small town of Willow Creek, nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a man named Adam and a woman named Emily. Their love story was one that the townsfolk whispered about in hushed tones, for it was a tale of passion, joy, and ultimately, heartbreak. Adam was a rugged man, with eyes like the stormy sea and a heart as wild as the untamed wilderness that surrounded their town. Emily, on the other hand, was gentle and kind, with a smile that could light up the darkest of nights and a soul as pure as the mountain streams that flowed through their valley. Their love blossomed like a fragile flower in the warmth of spring, each day bringing them closer together until they were inseparable. They spent their days exploring the beauty of nature, laughing beneath the shade of ancient oak trees, and dreaming of a future filled with endless possibilities. But as fate would have it, their blissful existence was shattered one fateful summer's eve when tragedy struck their idyllic world. A terrible accident claimed the life of Emily's parents, leaving her shattered and alone in a world suddenly devoid of color and light. Adam, consumed by grief himself, tried his best to console Emily, but no words could ease the pain that had taken root in her heart. She withdrew into herself, shutting out the world and retreating into the shadows of her sorrow. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but still, Emily remained lost in the depths of her despair. Adam stood by her side, his love unwavering, but even he began to feel the weight of her sorrow bearing down upon him. Finally, unable to bear the agony of seeing the woman he loved in such pain, Adam made the heart-wrenching decision to leave Willow Creek in search of a way to heal both himself and Emily. He promised to return one day, once he had found a way to mend their shattered hearts. And so, with a heavy heart and tears streaming down his face, Adam bid farewell to the only home he had ever known and set out on a journey into the unknown. Months turned into years as Adam wandered the world in search of answers, his heart heavy with the memory of the love he had left behind. He traveled to far-off lands, seeking solace in the beauty of distant shores and the wisdom of ancient cultures, but no matter where he went, he could not escape the echo of Emily's laughter or the haunting melody of her voice. Meanwhile, back in Willow Creek, Emily struggled to find her way in a world that seemed cold and empty without Adam by her side. She threw herself into her work, finding solace in the simple pleasures of tending to her garden and caring for the animals that roamed the hillsides. But try as she might, she could not shake the feeling that a part of her was missing, a void that could only be filled by the one she had loved and lost. And so, she waited, her heart yearning for the day when Adam would return to her side and banish the shadows that had enveloped her world. Years passed, and still, there was no sign of Adam. Doubt began to creep into Emily's mind, whispering cruel lies that perhaps he had never truly loved her, that he had abandoned her in her hour of need. But deep down, she knew the truth, for she could still feel the echo of his love resonating within her soul. Then, one crisp autumn morning, as the leaves turned to gold and the air grew cool with the promise of winter, a weary traveler appeared on the outskirts of Willow Creek. His clothes were tattered, his face weathered by the passage of time, but his eyes still shone with the same fierce determination that had captivated Emily's heart so many years ago. It was Adam, returned at last from his long journey across the world. He had searched high and low for a way to mend the broken pieces of their hearts, and now, he had returned to claim the love he had left behind. Emily could hardly believe her eyes when she saw him standing there before her, his presence filling her with a warmth she had almost forgotten. Without a word, she ran into his arms, tears streaming down her face as she clung to him with all the strength she had left. And in that moment, as they stood together beneath the golden canopy of autumn leaves, they knew that their love had endured the greatest of trials and emerged stronger than ever before. For sometimes, the greatest love stories are not those that unfold without pain or sorrow, but those that weather the storms of life and emerge shining brighter than the sun. Together, Adam and Emily vowed to never again let the shadows of doubt and despair come between them, for they knew that as long as they had each other, they could conquer any obstacle that stood in their way. And so, as the sun set on the small town of Willow Creek, casting long shadows across the valley below, Adam and Emily stood hand in hand, ready to face whatever challenges the future might hold, secure in the knowledge that their love would always be their guiding light.